In a lonely place at Nandaghata, Jiva Goswami lived in seclusion for some time. Once Sri Rupa was writing a book in a quiet place in Vrindavana. It was a hot day, and to dry the sweat from Rupa's body, Sri Jiva would stand nearby fanning him. The beauty of both Sri Rupa and Sri Jiva was effulgent. At that time, Sri Vallabha came to visit Rupa. When he saw the Mangalacharana introductory prayers of Rupa's Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, he told Rupa, I shall edit it. When he went to bathe in the Yamuna, Sri Jiva followed on the pretext of taking water from the Yamuna. Although he did not know Sri Vallabha personally, Jiva asked him, what is the flaw in the Mangalacharana? As Vallabha mentioned, each point he left required correction. He felt required correction. Jiva refuted the point by his knowledge of the scriptures. Unable to defeat Sri Jiva in a discussion, Vallabha went to Sri Rupa to inquire about the identity of Jiva. Rupa told Vallabha that the young Vaishnava was his nephew and that he had arrived from his village only a few days before. Vallabha Bhatta praised Jiva Goswami and told Rupa the details of their discussion on the book. Then Vallabha left that place. When Sri Jiva returned from the river, Sri Rupa scolded him in a very quiet voice. It was very kind of Bhatta to visit me, and for my own benefit, he wanted to edit my book. This much you could not tolerate by your Vaishnava grace. Go back to your home and return to Vrindavana when you will be able to be patient. At once, Sri Jiva left the place and headed east towards his home. When his mind became peaceful, he decided to remain in a solitary place in the forest as he did not have permission to return to the association of Rupa Goswami. He lived here in a hut made of leaves. Sometimes he ate a little and sometimes he ate nothing while he passed his time in a great distress and lamentation. He thought that if he gave up his life, he would be able to obtain the lotus feet of his Lord. In the course of his travels, Sanatan Goswami came to that village. The villagers came forward to welcome him and ask about his well-being. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, maybe we can summarize still here. You understood the whole scenario, right? These are our Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis. Sri Rupa, Sanatana, Raghunath Dasa, Raghunath Bhatta, Gopala Bhatta, Jiva Goswamis, the 6 Goswamis. So amongst them, we are now hearing about Jiva Goswami, the erudite scholar who wrote Shad Sandarbhas. So that's the story. He was at Nandaghata. Why was it like that? Because Rupa Goswami came ahead of time after he received instructions from Sri Gaurachandra. Came ahead and stayed in Vrindavana. And after some time, Jiva Goswami came to Vrindavana. So meanwhile, as was described here, Rupa Goswami wrote the Mangalacharana. Remember the nectar of devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. That's by Srila Rupa Goswami. He is the Sambandha, Abhideya Acharya. Abhideya is the process of attaining the goal. The goal here is Govinda. Process of attaining goal is by Bhakti. And about the Bhakti, Sri Rupa Goswami wrote in detail. So he is Abhideya Acharya. And the deities of Abhideya, Sri Radha, Govinda of Rupa Goswami. Right? Radha Govinda, Rupa Goswami. Yeah, Radha Madana Mohana are Sanatana Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswamis. Who are the deities of Raghunath Das Goswami? Sri Radha. They are in Vrindavan. So those are the deities. Sambandha, Abhideya, Prayojana Acharyas. Sambandha Acharya is Sanatana Goswami, Abhideya is Rupa Goswami, and Prayojana is Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. And their Prana Murtis, their deities. Yeah. So here, Rupa Goswami. He was writing Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and he wrote Mangalacharan prayers. That this was happening in Vrindavan. So Vallabhacharya came there. They were contemporaries at that time. Vallabhacharya came to Rupa Goswami and said, okay, can I take a look at your book? And Rupa Goswami, yes, please. You can take a look at it. Then Vallabhacharya said, maybe, how about a little bit of editing here? It means, he thought, Vallabhacharya thought there could be, and there can be some improvement in what Rupa Goswami wrote. Jiva Goswami could not tolerate this because for Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami is his master, his spiritual master. So he could not think that there can be any correction made to his all-perfect spiritual master. So that's why he came into this discussion with Vallabha Bhatta of how and why he thought that Rupa Goswami needed editing. Then the philosophical discussion went, and of course, yes, it didn't need any editing because Jiva Goswami was an erudite philosopher, very well-known philosopher of our Gaudiya Sampradaya. So he could answer all the questions of Vallabha Bhatta and prove that the Mangalacharan prayers did not need any editing at all. So as a staunch disciple of his beloved Guru, he did what he wanted to do, what he felt that he should do. But Rupa Goswami, these Goswamis, they are humility personified and they welcome corrections. They are beyond imagination. So Rupa Goswami was telling Jiva Goswami, he was like, what? For a Vaishnava, we should be able to welcome the corrections. And you were not able to welcome the correction from somebody who is so noble and so much kind enough to give their advice in time. So this Vrindavan is a place of sadhus who are very humble and then who are able to stand for their corrections. So I think you should be going to a different place for some time. And then when you feel like you are qualified to enter Vrindavan, then you may come back. It was very hard on Jiva Goswami, but his guru said so he has to do it. So he left the place. He left Vrindavan and he came to this place, this Nandagata. And then he stayed there. He stayed there for a few months and he felt like he needs to end his body, leave his body, because that separation pain was very difficult for Jiva Goswami. Very difficult. And he cannot say anything to his guru, what he was feeling, how he was feeling, why he said what he said, nothing. And he was feeling so much of separation from Rupa Goswami, his guru, he thought he should just give up his life. And during that time, in the course of his travels, look at the achara of these Vaishnavas, these Goswamis. Rupa Goswami was so humble that he was welcoming the corrections in spite of being the Rasa Acharya of those times. He was so humble. Jiva Goswami was so, his mamata for his guru was so much that he could not see that his guru needed any corrections from his standpoint of view. Philosophically, yes, that is true. But their standards, the Vaishnava standards, are so high. Rupa Goswami thought, no. This is not the case. So I'll look at Jiva Goswami. He didn't say a word. And as when his guru said, no, go from here. Yes, I go. And he stays here. And he's feeling so much separation. So he did not tell this to anybody, Jiva Goswami. So Sanatana Goswami, as he generally travels here and there, in the course of his travels, Sanatana Goswami came to that village. Yeah, somebody please can read from here.
Hare Krishna. In the course of his travels, Sanatana Goswami came to that village. The villagers came forward to welcome him and ask about his well-being. They informed him that one beautiful young sannyasi had been living in the forest for a long time, eating only a small quantity of fruits or roots or drinking water mixed with atta flour. Knowing that this sannyasi must be Sri Jiva, Sanatana went to see him in great affection. Seeing Sanatana within his patched hut, Sri Jiva could not control himself and fell flat on the ground at Sanatana's feet. The villagers were quite astonished. Sanatana asked Sri Jiva to explain his difficulty, and Jiva very lovingly explained everything. After consoling the villagers, Sanatana left Sri Jiva in his hut and went to see Rupa in Vrindavana. Hearing of Sri Sanatana's arrival in Vrindavana, Sri Rupa went out to meet him. Sanatana asked about the book Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and Rupa said that he had finished writing the book but the editing was incomplete because of Sri Jiva's absence. Sanatana explained the situation to Sri Rupa. Jiva is alive, but he is so weak that even the breeze can rock his body. At once, Sri Rupa brought Jiva back to Vrindavana and nursed him affectionately. Everyone was happy with Sri Jiva's recovery, and Rupa Sanatana bestowed all responsibility on him. By their mercy, the greatness of Sri Jiva's knowledge spread throughout the world.
Jai. Hare Krishna. That is Sri Jiva Goswami. He was just barely living in separation. And then Sanatana Goswami just happened to come that side and found out the whole thing. And he looked at Jiva Goswami, his sthiti. And Sanatana Goswami is the brother of Rupa Goswami, older brother of Rupa Goswami. So he went to Rupa, who is in Vrindavana, and said, see, this is the halat of Jiva Goswami. He's barely living there. Just because you ask him to leave Vrindavan, stay somewhere else, he's just following your instruction, just staying there, barely living there. So please show some daya to Jivas. That's what he said, Sanatana Goswami. You have to show some daya to Jiva. But here Jiva is really Jiva Goswami. And the way they speak, these Goswamis, they don't really directly talk. Talking directly is considered just very flat and very flat and not ornamentary, with no rasa. That's the consideration in our Shastras and with our Acharyas. They don't generally talk straight, flat like that. They talk in a way, little poetic, which has some embedded meaning in there, like that. So in that way, Sanatana Goswami said to Rupa Goswami, you should have some Jiva Daya like that. So Rupa Goswami understood that he was a little harsh on Jiva Goswami, and that's why he invited back Jiva Goswami and very affectionately nourished him. So with this, the affection on Jiva Goswami, the affection of Rupa Goswami on Jiva Goswami has gone a lot, has grown a lot. And same with the Sanatana Goswami too. So both these Goswamis blessed Jiva Goswami so much that he has become, I think he's called the Tattvacharya because he wrote Shat Sandarbha. Very brilliant personality. Yeah, such is his brilliance, but at the same time, how meek and humble he was with his seniors. My God, this is something. How meek and humble these great personalities, these seniors are with their seniors. This is the Achar we are reading, we are hearing in Bhakti Ratnakara. Okay. Yes, please. Somebody?
Can I read?
Yes, please.
A Digvijayi, world conquering scholar, once came to Vrindavana and challenged Jiva. If you will not compete with me in debate, then sign my Jayapatri, a written paper, acknowledge defeat. Sri Jiva sent him back to Jayapatri, but the Digvijayi accepted defeat after reading it. The glories of Srila Jiva Goswami are beyond description. Sri Raghava then showed them Jiva Goswami's hut. After that, they crossed the Yamuna river and passed the night in the Shrukuru village. Narottama and Srinivasa learned that Krishna was pleased with the demigods at this place. From here, Raghava pointed out some faraway villages and briefly explained the pastimes that were performed in those places.
Thank you, Prabhu. Where are we, dear devotees? Where are we now? Can somebody please unmute and say, where are we now?
Surukuru village, Mataji.
Okay. And Surukura village. Thank you. Who are we?
Crossed the Yamuna River, Mataji.
Huh? I'm sorry?
We just crossed the Yamuna River.
Yeah, crossed the Yamuna River. As the night in Surukura village. Yes. Who are with us, please?
Narottam Das Goswami and Srinivasacharya and Raghava Pandit.
Ah, very good, Mataji. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. So, Srila Narottama, Srinivasacharya, Raghava Pandita. So, we are with them now, right? And who were we with a while ago?
Sri Jiva
and Srinivasa.
Sanatana Goswami.
Jiva Goswami.
Yes, please. Let us purify our words and the mind, just saying the names of who we were with until now. You may all please say, who were we with?
Rupa Goswami, Jiva
Rupa
Goswami,
Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Vallabhacharya.
Vallabhacharya. And now with Srila Narottama and Srinivasacharya. and Raghav Pandita. And what did we see about Rupa Goswami? What did we see about Jiva Goswami, Sanatana Goswami? What did you feel?
Very humble.
Who was humble, Mataji?
Rupa Goswami was very humble that he was welcoming that Vallabha Bhatta wants to correct him. That's
right. Yeah, the humility, the Abhideya Acharya, and the humility, and Jiva Goswami. What did you feel hearing about our Acharya Jiva Goswami?
Guru Nishta, Mataji. I felt the Guru Nishta of Jiva Goswami towards Rupa Goswami.
Guru Nishta, Jiva to Rupa. Yeah. Josna Devi Mataji, aap bole?
He was living the instructions given by Rupa Goswami.
That's Jiva Goswami, the Tattva Acharya. These are the Achars, the living of our great Goswamis. Embodiment of humility, embodiment of Guru Nishta, embodiment of not just living the instructions. And
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Mataji, at one point I thought that Sri Jiva Goswami, I know initially he did make a mistake, if I would call it, and but then I felt like there was humility in that too of what he did after that, in the sense that he was also very highly educated, like you're saying, right? Like, Srila Rupa Goswami was giving him the books to edit it. That means he was that qualified.
Yes, he is that category. Yes, Prabhu. Yeah.
But he did not, he showed that side of his humility.
Right, Prabhu. Right. He's extraordinarily scholarly that he was editing the books of Rupa Goswami, but still, and that's why he could see that there were no corrections needed. But yet, he accepted what Rupa Goswami has asked him to do. And when there is a pastime like this, especially with the Bhagavan and the Bhakta, and or between a guru and a Sishya, it's just sweet. There is a reason why that pastime happens. So for us, when we read, I'm like, Rupa Goswami, did he really have to do that to Jiva Goswami? He was just doing what he needs to do. But, well, that's their rasa between his Sishya and his beloved Guru. There is some sweetness there, though it can be mixed sometimes. It can be Chala rasa, where Radharani was just happy when Lord Krishna is not there. There is separation. It's just a different rasa. So those were the pastimes between the acharyas. So beware with those acharyas till now. And yes, now we cross the Yamuna River and spend the night in Surukura village. Srila Narottama is here. Srinivasa Acharya is here. Raghav Pandita is here. Somebody please continue. What are those places?
Mataji, Hare Krishna. Mataji, quick question, Mataji. So that rasa between Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami, what we should be calling it, Mataji? Is it what kind of rasa?
You have to speak with Jiva Goswami and Rupa Goswami and let us know, Prabhu. But definitely there is something about it.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. There are many like that. These are just between one instance between these two acharyas, but there are many like that. So many like that. Even between Srila Bhakti Siddhanta, Srila Prabhupada, and then when I was reading, good fortune arises. Sri Srimad Gaur Govinda Swami Maharaja. And his disciple, there was a disciple, very humble disciple. And Maharaj didn't know how to express his appreciation and gratitude for the devotion he had. So there was one instant. So like that, it's just a sweet one that can be there between Sri Guru and disciple. And the thing is that can be relished by them. And if somebody sees that in that way, then they know. Jiva Goswami saw it that way. That's how he could relish. He did not come into a logical way of thinking and say, excuse me, how come this is this and that is that? It doesn't go in that plane. Anything that happens with Bhagavan and Bhakta, anything that happens with Sri Guru and disciple, they're not on a logistic platform. If somebody wants to see so, think so, so be it, fine, they're stuck there. Yeah. And one more thing I wanted to bring it to your attention. How the Lord is so beautiful. So as the Lord is beautiful, the devotees are also beautiful, glorious. The beauty of both Sri Rupa and Sri Jiva was effulgent. Whatever qualities are present in the Lord that makes him effulgent, same is with his devotees. Yeah.
Yeah, I got Narottama Thakur and his Gurudev Loknath.
Right. So that's their pastime.
That memory also came to my mind when we are just discussing all this, the relation between those Guru Shishyas.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, and the other one is Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura and his Guru. What's Babaji Maharaj? Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj. Yeah. They would think, what? Do they have to be like this? Do they have to be like that? But they're it's different. Yeah. But at least we get to know, oh wow. So there is something like that. So that is beautiful. I think we need to pause here. I think we have to stay here. Overnight stay, it's Surukuru.
Okay,
right. I guess we just cross the Yamuna River and we will stay. All of us here, yes, tonight in Surukuru village, and all the acharyas, yes, they are